When we think about injuries, one thing is certain for humans: damage is permanent. A lost arm or leg is gone forever, and wounds often leave scars. But in the animal kingdom, some creatures don't play by these rules. They can heal, regenerate, and in the most extreme cases, regrow their entire bodies. These incredible powers sound like science fiction, but they are very real. Today, we'll uncover the story of one creature that can regrow its entire body, and what this unbelievable ability reveals about the mysteries of life. Let's start with the planarian flatworm, a small freshwater worm that looks simple but hides one of the most extraordinary abilities in the natural world. If you cut a planarian into pieces, whether 2, 10, or even hundreds, each piece can regenerate into a complete worm. Slice one in half and you get 2 worms. Cut it into 20 pieces and you may end up with 20 new worms, all fully functional, complete with heads, brains, digestive systems, and tails. For the planarian, losing part of its body isn't a death sentence, it's an opportunity to multiply. The secret behind this power lies in special cells called pluripotent stem cells, which can transform into almost any type of tissue. These cells are scattered throughout the worm's body, ready to spring into action whenever injury occurs. When a piece of the worm is cut off, stem cells migrate to the wound site, divide rapidly, and begin reconstructing everything that's missing. Whether it's nerves, muscle, or even the brain itself, the planarian can rebuild it all. In fact, researchers have found that a tiny sliver of a planarian, just 1/300th of its body, can still regenerate into a complete worm. But regeneration is not just about replacing parts, it's about rebuilding identity. Scientists discovered that planarians have a fascinating way of remembering which end is the head and which is the tail. Even if the worm is cut in unconventional ways, the stem cells know how to form a brain at one end and a tail at the other. This map of the body is stored in chemical signals that guide regeneration, ensuring the worm always reforms correctly. Without this map, regeneration would produce chaos, but instead it produces perfect order. Even more fascinating, planarians can retain memories even after regrowing their brains. In a famous experiment, scientists trained planarians to associate light with food. After decapitating the worms and allowing them to regrow their heads and brains, the regenerated worms still learned faster than untrained ones. This suggests that memory may not be stored solely in the brain, but throughout the body in chemical or epigenetic patterns that persist even after regeneration. It's a concept that challenges our deepest understanding of intelligence, memory, and identity. The regenerative powers of planarians are so extreme that some scientists refer to them as immortal under the edge of a knife. Unlike humans, who accumulate cellular damage and age, planarians show almost no signs of aging at all. Their stem cells continually refresh and renew tissue, granting them what could be considered a biological fountain of youth. Researchers have kept colonies of planarians alive and dividing for decades, with no indication that their regenerative ability weakens over time. Of course, planarians are not the only regenerators in nature, but they are among the most powerful. Starfish can regrow lost arms, and in some cases, a single arm can regenerate into an entire new starfish if part of the central body is attached. Axolotls, often called walking fish, can regrow entire limbs, parts of their spinal cords, jaws, and even parts of their hearts. They are a favorite model for scientists studying regeneration. Lizards are also well known for their ability to shed their tails to escape predators, later regrowing a replacement, though it is usually cartilaginous rather than a perfect replica. Even deer show a kind of regeneration, growing new antlers every year in one of the fastest tissue regrowth processes known among mammals. Yet, as impressive as these animals are, none surpass the planarian's ability to regenerate an entire body, including the brain itself, from the tiniest fragment. Why would a creature evolve such an ability? For the planarian, regeneration is not just survival, it's also reproduction. By splitting or being cut into pieces, a single worm can produce many offspring without mating. This process, called fission, allows them to multiply rapidly in stable environments. At the same time, regeneration provides a defense against predation. Losing a body part doesn't mean death, but simply a reset. It's a survival strategy that turns injury into opportunity. what does this mean for humans? Scientists are studying planarians intensely because their regenerative abilities could one day inspire medical breakthroughs. If we can understand how their stem cells are guided to rebuild tissue, we might unlock ways to repair spinal cord injuries, regrow lost limbs, or heal damaged organs. Already, regenerative medicine is exploring the potential of human stem cells, but the planarian represents the gold standard of what regeneration can achieve. Imagine a future where amputation or paralysis is no longer permanent, but treatable with therapies inspired by a simple worm. Yet as powerful as their regeneration is, planarians are not invincible. They are vulnerable to toxins, environmental changes, and predators that can destroy them faster than they can rebuild. Their abilities keep them alive in many cases, but they remain small, fragile creatures in a dangerous world. Their regeneration is a survival mechanism, not a superpower that makes them indestructible. Still, the story of the planarian shows us that biology can rewrite rules we thought were unbreakable. While humans accept scars and permanence, the planarian demonstrates a different reality where the body can be endlessly renewed. They remind us that life is not fixed but flexible, and that the limits we experience are not universal. For us, a wound means loss. For them, it means rebirth. So the next time you think of animals with amazing survival skills, remember the humble planarian flatworm. It may look like nothing more than a tiny worm in a pond, but within its body lies one of the most astonishing abilities in all of nature, the power to regrow itself entirely. While we dream of healing wounds and reversing damage, the planarian lives this reality every day. In its small, unassuming body, it carries the blueprint for resilience, the symbol of regeneration, and the proof that sometimes the smallest creatures hold the greatest secrets. In the quiet waters where they live, destruction is never the end, because the planarian can always begin again.